What's so hard about that? You let it all go. You're turning up the volume, reaching for your radio. What's so hard about that? Get your horn up out the case. You flap them little gums out, then you stick it on your face. What's so
Hey there, Dink.
hard about that?
Oh, hey there, Dwayne.
How's Paultom's #1 law dog doing this afternoon? You get those fried pies I sent you?
Yes, I did. That was very kind of you, Dwayne.
Hey, it's the least I could do for Paultom's protector. You deserve all the fried pies in town, Dink.
You still can't see Paul Wayne.
You son of a bitch.
It's not my decision, Dwayne. Paul Wayne can't interact with any of his old associates until the end of his trial. Judge Creaker's orders.
Oh, come on, Dink. You can't keep us separated like this. We got Paultom City sports to talk, and I can't do it all on my own. I need my right-hand man there on the mic, and you know that. There's got to be some kind of work release program or something we can get Paul Wayne in while he waits for that trial.
He's already in one.
Wait, what? Why didn't you tell me? We got to get him in the station, and...
He's not recording anything at the station. He's been enrolled in the Paultom Catholic Ministries Work Release Program. He's the new voice of 88.6 QWIL, the Praying Hand, Paultom's finest Spanish Catholic radio station.
You're joking, right?
In fact, I think he's on right now. You want to listen?
I guess.
Second, turn the radio on to the AM band and put Paul Wayne on.
Saludos mis hermanos y hermanas en Cristo, y bienvenidos a la hora del Rosario. Soy su anfitrión, el hermano Paul Wayne T. Y hoy vamos a estar hablando con el Padre Pedro San Pedro.
Senor Paul?
Cállate, Tito. Sobre mi
Turn it off.
concepción
But
favorita.
Rosary
La
Hour's
Inmaculada
just starting,
Concepción.
Dwayne.
Con
He's
mi
about to
chavita
say the
favorita.
Hail Mary.
With the
Turn it
Santa Madre
off,
Maria.
Dink. Hearing him's like watching Michael Jordan play baseball. You want him to do well, but it just don't fit.
Well, if you want to hear him, he'll be on every day at noon. Father Pedro San Pedro really thinks Paul Wayne's charisma can help bring new converts into the fold.
Yeah, well, tell the priest that the moment Judge Creaker lets Paul Wayne out, he's coming back into the sweet embrace of QWIL the Quill, muy rapido.
I would, but I can't speak Spanish.
Look, if I can't see him, can you at least pass on a message to Paul Wayne for me?
Oh, fine. What is it?
Tell him I had to kick his door in. Charlene kicked me out again, so I'm crashing at Casa de Teague. Howdy, Paultom City. Welcome to the First Down with Dwayne. I'm your host, Dwayne. And for those of you counting, it is now day 72 without my trusted compadre Paul Wayne Teague on the show here. As you all know, Paul Wayne is still in the W.H. Nelson Correctional Facility awaiting his trial date for the alleged vehicular battery charge against his ex-wife, Kathy Pepperfield Teague, which he will beat, by the way. And as I've done since the first day he was locked up, I want to take a moment to say, Paul Wayne, if you're listening out there, we're with you 100%, big dude. You're going to get through this. And to honor another tradition I've done since he got locked up, we are going to do a little toast to our friend Paul Wayne here. And today's Spirit of Choice is brought to us by today's sponsor, Mr. Amos T. Bondavant, who runs the most reputable moonshine still this side of the Pecos. If you want a little lead in your pencil and you don't want to pay premium prices, go ahead and get you some of Amos's White Lightning and pucker up today. Here's to you, Paul Wayne. Ooh, Diddy, that'll dill your pickle right there. Ooh. Anyway, let's go ahead and get on with today's show. What do you say? We got ourselves a doozy, as there is a lot to catch up on since our last transmission at the end of the season. As our listeners may or may not know, after Paul Wayne's arrest, the school board temporarily suspended QWIL's relationship with Paultom City Athletics. But we are happy to report, after a lengthy arbitration process and a stint in Gamblers Anonymous for yours truly, QWIL the Quill is now back as the official broadcast sponsor of Paultom City Athletics. So I want to personally thank the Paultom City School Board and the athletic department for putting their trust back in us here at QWIL. We do not take that lightly. And I also want to thank my sponsor at Gamblers Anonymous for showing me that sometimes it's best to just let it ride on that roulette wheel we call life. So thanks to you, Jimmy Needlers, for your continued support of me. And gosh darn it, I realized you probably shouldn't say your sponsor's name on air. Dadgummit. I am sorry about that, Johnny Noodlers. You know what? We'll chat about that later, I'm sure. You know what? Why don't we kick it to break? We'll take a quick little break, and whenever we come back, we'll be talking some Porcupine football and some of the new developments that have occurred in this offseason. So y'all stick around. We'll be right back.
This Saturday, live at the Capitalistic Materialistic Boutique and Buffet Sportatorium Emporium, the Paultom Wrestling Federation presents Wrestling Mania. If you like fast-paced, hard-hitting, rough and tough, razzle-dazzle and pomp and circumstance, then you'll have a dandy of a time at Wrestling Mania. Come out and see the good guys fight the bad guys. Come see the Masked Luchador take on El Luchador and Mascarado from south of the border. Come see the hot chick fight the goth in a hair versus hair match. Come see the fourth wall take on Kayfabe, where we'll see if they work themselves into a shoot. And our main event, it's brother versus brother, as Angel Garcia takes on El Diablo Garcia in a Win My Father's Approval match, where the loser is excommunicated from the family, and the winner has his father tell him that he loves him. All that, autograph signings and more at Wrestling Mania. Doors open at 6 p.m. on Saturday at the Capitalistic Materialistic Boutique and Buffet Sportatorium Emporium. Be there or be square.
Welcome back, Pine Nation. You're listening to The First Down with Dwayne. And sitting beside me now, at his own insistence, is our beloved station manager, Bruce Steenspring. Bruce, why don't you give our listeners out there in Pine Nation a hearty hello?
Hi ho there, Pine Nation. Don't mind me here. I'm just making sure Dwayne stays in line and keeps the dadgum liquor bottle shut on air.
Yep, get the dustpan and mop out, folks. Someone has done pooped the party, and his name starts with a B.
I just don't want another fine from the FCC. Now do the goddamn show.
Well, not to worry. We got a lot to talk about on the football front, so I ain't too worried about losing the buzz. So let's just keep that on moving here. So what has happened since our beloved Porcupines lost in that heartbreaking game against the Boat Tuggers? Well, we have had a monumental shakeup on our coaching staff, folks. Now, this may or may not come as a surprise to some of y'all, but after that loss to Boat, Coach Strong and his play calling came under some pretty serious scrutiny. The school board and booster club called not one, not two, but 5 emergency sessions to review Coach Strong's performance over the last 3 seasons. Hell, they even set up special committees for both offensive and his defensive analysis. So, you know, they really went the full 9 yards there. And after a lengthy review, 6 split votes, and a series of character witness testimonies, the school board's committee for the conduct of the football program made a ruling. And that ruling stated that Coach Strong's performance was not up to snuff. Was not up to snuff. Paultom City expects more out of a football coach, and unfortunately, his contract was terminated. That's right, terminated. With extreme prejudice, I will say. Now, I'm sure all of you got the purple and brown alert for that, but for those of y'all not in the know, it is official. Coach Strong is no longer with the Paultom City Porcupines. And unfortunately, Coach Strong wasn't the only departure. Our dear friend of the show and Paultom City tight end coach and theater director Chad Nabbit has also taken his talents on the road, which is a damn shame. He'll be making his debut this fall as the new choreographer for the City University of New York's Performing Arts Department.
I gotta tell you, that honestly hurts more than Coach Strong leaving.
Boy, you ain't kidding. I mean, word on the street was that he was planning on putting The Longest Yard the musical on this year, which is just a killer loss to the community, the theater department, and to the team, to be honest with you. So, now we got ourselves a little coaching search on our hands. Now, normally, I'd be the crack reporter with the scoop on who all the candidates are, but due to the school board and booster club keeping me at arm's length for the time being, my guess is as good as yours, dear listeners. Who will it be? A coach from one of our district rivals, some out-of-town hotshot looking to make a name for himself, or a local legend called up to save his team from the brink? Time will tell. I mean, hell, I'll be lying to you if Paul Wayne and I haven't probably tossed our names into the bucket. Who knows if we get called up? I'd do my best if we did. Hell, I'd probably get a few wins under my belt. I've called a few games. I've called a few Pee Wee games here and there. I got the salt for it, but times have changed. It's a different game these days, so we'll see what happens. But just want y'all to know that as soon as I hear something, I will let y'all know. Guarantee it. I'm keeping my ear to the ground, and we will be listening for any news on that front. Also hearing some rustlings on the player front since Coach Strong's departure. Some kids may be feeling the need to go elsewhere to have their talent shine, which I think is just hogwash. I mean, you got to dance with who brung you, in my opinion. And these kids these days, they just don't know nothing about loyalty. I mean, am I right, Bruce?
You've literally threatened to leave the station a dozen times, Dwayne.
The kids learn from us, folks, so it's high time we set an example and hold firm, because we don't want these kids going anywhere. I mean, we've lost too much talent to graduation. We need our starters this year. I'm looking at you, #Johnson. I'm looking at you, Derek Chudd. Hell, I'm even looking at you, Aiden McMurray.
You've been trying to get him to quit for 2 seasons?
Be that as it may, the depth chart needs depth. We need bodies. Y'all keep those keisters parked right where they are. Trust the system. We'll get a coach to handle the reins in no time, believe you me. All right. I think it's time for a break. What do you say, Brucey boy?
Put the bottle down, Dwayne.
All right. Y'all stick with us. When we come back, we'll be doing our Porcupine Spring Sport recap. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Put the bottle down. Put the bottle down, Dwayne.
Let me have some steak. 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 Let me have some steak.
Tate's T-Bones.
Welcome back, folks. You are listening to The First Down with Dwayne here on QWIL the Quill. Well, school's out and summer's upon us, but that doesn't mean that we can't talk a little porcupine sports, folks. That's right, it is time for the Porcupine Spring Sport Recap, brought to you by our good friends at the reopened Pantalone Springs Country Club. Have you heard the good news? The folks at Pantalone Springs Resort have reopened their golf course. That's right. After being condemned by the county for a myriad of maintenance issues, the management at Pantalone Springs have finally renovated their country club and course. And folks, it's about as pretty as a possum with a fancy hat. I mean, it's got that rugged beauty, you know. So be sure to check out the grand reopening this next Saturday, where they'll be having the Pantalone Springs Calf and Golf Scramble. If you can make par and catch a calf on any of the holes, you get a free bucket of balls and a day pass to the Pantalone Springs Resort. Make a hole-in-one, and you get to take a calf home with you. What a deal. So y'all be sure to check that out. We'll be doing a live spot out there and giving away some QWIL swag bags. So come on up and see us and the fine folks at the Pantalone Springs Country Club. Come swing your pantalones off. Well, spring sports have come and gone, but the memories your porcupines have left us with will last a lifetime. And what a spring we had, folks. Now let's start with track and field, because old Jesus Garcia-Selinsky and his sister both set school records in the shot put this year, propelling them both to the district championships and then to regionals. Now, unfortunately, they caught the raw end of a windstorm out at the regional meet in Lubbock, which ended their run at state, unfortunately, there, but it was a great run. I mean, those kids were out there chunking that thing like it was a dodgeball. I mean, just manhandle it. You love to see it. Now, that wasn't the only impressive performance that we had from our kids in track, however. Old Hashtag Johnson breezed to victory in district in the 100 meters, overcoming Boat stud runner Petey DePablo at the end of the race with a literal nosedive finish. Now, old Hashtag got himself a mouthful of track at the end of that, but hey, I say that's worth it if you beat somebody from Boat, you know? It's minor things. That's the chicks dig scars, Hashtag, okay? Old Will Williamson earned himself another district championship in the pole vault. And we saw Creeder Sackrider take second in the 200-meter hurdles behind Dieter's jumping Joey Dominic. Now, that was a really close race, too, but in the end, old Creeder really embraced his last name and cut one jump a little too close to the groin, which cut his lead and gave old Jumpin' Joe the space he needed to overtake him. Now, we here at QWIL do wish Creeder a speedy recovery for his unmentionables. That was a tough thing to watch, I'll be honest with you. On the baseball diamond, your Pines fared, well, so. Look, hey, we'll be honest, folks, we ain't never been a baseball town. I think we can all agree with that. We all know that. And, hell, half the time we're just happen to be out there to field a whole team. So I remember my senior year, we actually had Gomer 3 out covering left field for a while because some kid got mono. No joke. But all the same, this year wasn't much to write home about save for the game against Lugerville where old Peyton Hurst set the school record for balks. Paydirt just couldn't get his feet set, which is a rarity for him. But you know what? I kind of think that he's still battling some demons from the game against Boat. But, you know, I'm sure he'll get over that in due time. And we did have one home run this year. That's right. Old Balmain ended up being our stud duck on the team and hit a boomer over into the left field fence in the Stuber game with a Woody, no less, which is pretty impressive. Now, I tried to interview him after, but nobody could really understand what he was saying, so you'll just have to take our word for it that the kid was happy as a hog in slop. I mean, it was really, really something to see. Now, we did get one win over Muntsville, which is an improvement from last year, but in Muntsville's defense, the only reason they lost was because, well, you know, their pitcher hit every one of our players. So, you know, it was kind of like the blind playing the blind out there that night. But, hey, win's a win. We'll take that win column all day. Anyway, what else happened? Let's see. Girls softball won state, and not a lot else happened there. So, the graduation ceremony was something to behold this year, believe you me. Now, if you didn't make it out to the Super Den for it, you really missed out. I mean, it was something that is just really memorable. You know, brought back a lot of memories for me. All our seniors were out there, decked out in their purple robes and their brown caps, and they had Penelope the Porcupine handing out the diplomas with her mouth as the kids walked by. I mean, it was just a real treat. You know, you love to see the kids celebrate everything that they achieved this year. And we only had 5 people pass out due to heat stroke this year. Only 5. That's right. That's a record, I do believe. Now, usually they're carting people out by the truckloads before they get to the M's. But, hey, Paultom City showed up hydrated this year. We love to see it, folks. Good on you. As far as our graduating football seniors go, we got some good news there. Old Rod Gonzalez got a preferred walk-on spot at Texas State, so we are sure excited to see what he'll do out there. Now, he got a bunch of offers from different schools this year, and slowly but surely they started to kind of dwindle as he kept grabbing his unmentionables throughout last season. But you know what? I'm sure he'll make the most out of that preferred walk-on spot. And hell, you know what? I even heard that he got an NIL deal with an organic pork rinds company too. So it's coming up all aces for Gonzalez, it seems. Good luck to him. Our senior linebackers, Daniel Butterbaugh and Pablo Coffey, have taken their talents to the next level as well. They will both be starting linebackers for the Nelson County Junior College Jackalopes this upcoming season, so good for them. Now, I will be honest, we were all pretty surprised that those boys even graduated. I mean, it was really something to see because they were both reading at a 4th grade level coming into this year, but apparently they started taking some of those brain supplements that Todd Gonzalez was hawking around town, and apparently we had a real flowers for Algernon effect with those boys. So, they, believe it or not, folks, they jumped 20 spots in their GPA rankings over the course of that last semester. I mean, really, something to see. But, you know, boy howdy, they got hooked on phonics and spelled out graduation by the end of the year. So, now they are proud college students, and we are proud of them here at QWIL the Quill. The only downside that I will say I have seen is the brain pills effects have kind of worn off on them, and now they both seem to have some sort of unbridled rage at the drop of a hat. But you know what? I'm sure Coach Tolliver over at Nelson County JC will be able to harness that for good next season. And they'll be terrors out there, I'm sure. Senior kicker Will Williamson has hung up his kicking shoes and traded them for soccer cleats and moved to Dallas to join a semi-pro indoor soccer league. And frankly, I don't think I need to talk any more about that. So enjoy playing the Devil's game, Judas. Senior guard Jamison Guinness is reportedly in the process of getting his TABC certification and is in the process of applying to be the bartender over at Senior O'Grady's. So I hope he can pull a beer tap with as much grace as he pulled block this year. It'll be something to see. Best of luck to you, Jameson. And lastly, Old Stap Drinkwater has decided to join his father Bo's Drinkwater down at the water treatment plant. He is now going to be the 7th Drinkwater to monitor the water quality of Paultom City. And frankly, I don't think I trust anyone else, folks. Stap, if you're listening out there, you're doing the town a real solid there, bub. Or a liquid, I guess. All the same, best of luck to you, kid. And, well, I guess that just about catches us up on everything, folks. Next week, our boys will be traveling to College Station for the annual 7-on-7 tournament, so be sure to go out there and cheer on your Pines as they try once again to capture the title out at that state tournament. As we all know, 7-on-7 is a bit of a challenge for us when your offense is the wishbone, but nevertheless, we persist, right? With Coach Strong's departure, the coaching duties will go to interim coach Judd Chudd, that's Derek Chudd's daddy and our offensive coordinator. Now, he might be playing for the real coach's seat here, so be sure to keep an eye on him throughout this tournament. This could be a preview of things to come. Who knows? Anyway, I guess that just about does it for me, folks. Bruce has taken my bottle, so I'll be making my way down to Senior O'Grady's here just shortly. If you'd like to buy your pal Dwayne a little cheer-me-up shot, it sure would be kind of you. And with that, I bid you adieu, Paultom City. Y'all stay cool out there, and go Pines.
What's so hard about that? You let it all go. You're turning up the volume, reaching for your radio. What's so hard about that? Get your horn up out the case. You flap them little gums out, then you stick it on your face. What's so hard about that?
Paultom City's source for sports, QWIL the Quill.